Hey folks, this is Mike with Eminent Precision Painting. Today we're going to be going over airless paint sprayer tips. What they are, what do you use them for, and what these silly little numbers here mean. There's a special reason why I titled this 2019, and to figure that out, stay tuned, and here we go.
Still looking at me.
Alright guys, for those of you who don't know what a paint sprayer tip is, this is the tip housing, and this is the tip itself. These tips come in different sizes and different types. We'll get to that here in a little while. But this just hooks onto the end of the airless spray gun. This is the housing itself. This is the tip. You can see there's a little slot right there. And this is where it goes in. And this is a reversible tip. So this way would be to clear any clogs that your tip might have during the process of spraying. And that is the spray mode. So yeah, that's what a tip is. All right guys, tip sizings. First thing we're going to talk about. There are various different types of tips. We're going to get to that here in a sec. But we're going to talk about tip sizing right now. As you can see, I don't know if you can see on this is a 515 tip. So what do the numbers mean? That's what we want to ask. Okay, so the first number on this tip is a 5, okay? You're gonna take that first number, times it times 2, and that's gonna be your fan width when you're spraying at, it's important to also note, at 12 inches away from your wall, because that's the recommended distance when spraying with an airless sprayer. Okay, so the second part of this equation is the 15. That's your last two numbers on this tip. Okay, so the 15 indicates the orifice size. Insert jokes now. The orifice size is just the size of the hole right here, and that's going to dictate how much material you could put through this tip. That also is in a direct correlation with how much material your sprayer can spray in terms of gallons per minute, and those specifications will be on your airless sprayer and the type of material that you're spraying through your airless. As a rule, usually using bigger tips for thicker, heavier materials like elastomeric, latex, blase squat, and thinner or smaller tips for thinner materials like lacquers, oils, and the like. So yeah, that's tip sizing explained. Now, and if you have any questions about that, just leave them in the comments. But now we're going to move on to different types of tips. So guys, when you are selecting a tip, just make sure you look at your airless pump sprayer and figure out the maximum gallons per minute, because that's going to dictate the largest size tip you can use. And when you are choosing a tip, make sure to go a size down to get proper atomization out of your sprayer tip. All right guys, we're going to start with these Gracos. This is a Rack 5. It's a Graco tip. They come in black like this. This is a Rack 5. They come in blue. It's going to be a Rack X tip. And they come in green, which is going to be a fine finish low pressure tip. All right, so with the regular tips, the Rack 5s and the Rack X tips, there are some drawbacks to it. You can put a lot of material. That's one of the pluses. But the drawbacks are you're going to get sharper edges. You're going to get fingers. And it's not going to feather out that fan pattern on the edges of your spray as well as, say, a fine finish low pressure or something of that nature. So yeah, that's the only drawback to those. And that's your Graco tips. So you're going to come in black, blue, and green. Alrighty. So with the fine finish low pressure tip, what this does is a two-step atomization process. Okay, so what this does is it atomizes the paint twice before it comes out of, well, as it's coming out of the tip. What this does, it feathers your edges out so you don't have that very distinct line on the edges of your fan pattern. And also what it does is it allows you to spray at a lower pressure. That's the way the tip's designed. So you're gonna get less overspray. You're going to save on your pump and save on your material because of less overspray. Okay, so those are the Graco tips. So now we'll move on to a Titan. All right, you guys, so why I named this 2019 is because there's been some updates, not only with Graco, But with the Titan tips, Graco's come out with the fine finish low pressure, which we are going to talk about. And another one is the Titan HEA, high efficiency airless tip. So yeah, that's why. And so stay tuned, and that's coming up right now. All right, guys, so now onto the Titan tips. Titans are normally going to come in red, is their standard tip color. And you have these greens, which are high efficiency airless tips. Not to be confused with the fine finish low pressure tip, because these things have function in two different ways. This is a two-step atomization process. This is not the HEA. Although they produce similar results. So we are on the Titan tips, so dropped. All right, guys, before I drop my tip, these are Titan tips. These are HEAs. These are all I use anymore. Kind of done away with the older ones, older Titan tips. Only because this is going to allow me to run my pump at lower pressure, which is going to save my pump. I'm going to get less overspray, which is going to save me on materials. And it's going to save on my tip due to the lower pressure that I have to spray it at. So I'm going to get less wear on my tip. It's going to last longer. Pump's going to last longer. I'm going to save money. Customer's going to save money in the long run. So why not use this? So yeah, that's what I'm using. And that's the HEA tip. And like I said, this is a two-step process. This is not. Results fairly the same. This also is going to give you a softer fan pattern. And in terms of the edges and whatnot, you're not going to get any fingers. Yeah, and you're gonna get 50% less overspray. So why not just stick with the HEA tip and or the fine finish low pressure. So again, one of the things to remember, these tips also are not interchangeable. In other words, you can't use a Rack X tip on a Titan tip housing, and same vice versa. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, guys, hopefully that helps clear up a little bit of the confusion with tips, tip sizing, interchangeability between Rack X guards and Titan tips, or Titan guards. Yes, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, please. Give us a like, thumbs up, share. Like us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. And until next time, this is Mike with M&M Precision Painting, and we'll see you next time.
Still looking at me. Yeah.